What's up guys? In this video I'm just going to go over how to follow up properly and most effectively on cold email campaigns. I'm going to go over a practice that I've used since I've started in cold email and has worked really well for me, and I genuinely believe this is one of the best ways to follow up on cold prospects with cold email. So let's jump straight into it. So before I jump into it, I just want to go over some basics here. So around follow-up. So it's genuinely an art. There is an art to following up. Most sales reps, they give up after 4 follow-ups like it says here, but in my experience and from the people I've worked with, 80% of sales and 80% of interested responses on those cold emails actually come from 5 follow-ups or more. So my basis is usually 5 follow-ups. Can do more than that, but obviously as the number of follow-ups increases, so it gets to 6, 7, you want to increase the time because you don't want to be repeatedly spamming the prospect. Obviously you want to have an increased gap after each follow-up and when you reach out. So it really depends on the industry that you work in again. So this is a key criteria that a lot of people are going to leave out in videos like this when they talk about follow-ups, because obviously it really depends. Like for example, if you're in the roofing industry, prospects aren't really going to be checking their email too often. They're ultimately going to be on jobs, working on site. Whereas if you're targeting B2B prospects, they're going to be a lot more used to checking their email frequently. Obviously they're sat behind a desk all day just working on the computer. So ultimately, it really just comes down to testing. So you can test different sequences, find out which works best for your business. Because at the end of the day, with cold email, this is the one point, right? No one knows what is going to work unless you test it. It's probably not what you want to hear. You probably want to hear that there's one script that you can use which can get you crazy results, but no one knows exactly what the market is thinking. You need to continuously test, continuously iterate, and find the best winning formula from those continuous tests that you're doing. So test in sufficient volume, keep iterating, and you will find that winning formula. So this is an idea of what a cold email pipeline might look like. This is what I kind of use as a framework for structuring cold email follow-ups. So obviously we have the initial cold email at the start. 48 hours later, so around 2 days later, I send a quick check-in email. The sole purpose of this check-in email, so follow-up number 1, is to get them to go back and check the first email. So a lot of the time they can be busy. Ultimately, if you're a B2B business owner, you're going to be spending a lot of time. You don't want to be spending a lot of time checking your emails, doing stuff. You want to be they're always focusing on the next task. You're always worrying you've not got enough time. You're always focusing on doing more. So ultimately, a lot of the time, a cold email is a distraction to them. Might not have had the time to read it properly. So that goal of that first follow-up is literally just to get them to go back and look at the first email. So you want to send it as part of the thread. You don't want to send it as a new email. You want to add it to the thread so they can simply open it. See, for example, a message might be, hey, did you get a chance to see my first email? Hey, just bumping this up. Hey, just checking in. Did you see my last email I sent 2 days ago? They can just scroll up from that if it's in the same thread, which it should be, see your first email, look at your offer, look at everything you've got in there with your call to action, etc. Go back, respond, so it's easy for them. After another 2 days after that first follow-up, you want to come in with a value addition email. So this is anything that you can add to that first email that can give it a little bit more juice, add stuff that you didn't maybe have enough time or enough words to use in that first email. So you basically want to expand on your initial offer. Maybe you can add in another case study. Maybe you can just explain more about the benefits that your service can bring, outcomes that you've helped clients achieve, so case studies, any pain point solutions, anything of value that you can give them. So what I see a lot of people doing in cold email follow-up, which is absolutely not the best way to do it, is just continuously saying, hey, can we talk? Can we talk? Every time that you follow up after the first follow-up, obviously, because the first follow-up should always be getting them to check back up to the first one. That's the sole purpose it solves. But anything after the first follow-up, that's doing the same thing and saying, hey, did you see this? Did you see this? You're wasting a very valuable chance. Now you've got the prospect's attention to add to your initial offer, to expand on that. So that's what that third email should do. Just expand on your first one. Mention anything that you didn't get a chance to mention initially. So on the fourth email, you want to go into more detail about your offer. This is what I do. Again, mention another case study. Mention more things. Basically do the same as the third email. Basically, you can do that a day later. Maybe offer them a discount. Bring in some scarcity, some urgency there as well. So the third and the fourth are very similar. This is where a lot of the responses come personally from our campaigns, is between the third and the fourth one. Fifth one, funny, humorous email. You can throw in some GIFs. You can throw in some memes. Be creative. Genuinely make it resonate with them, because you've got a huge opportunity to interrupt their inbox here. A lot of people, they don't send GIFs, they don't send memes. So this is a great chance to actually make it a little bit more fun for yourself. Throw in some humor, throw in some memes, and yeah, ultimately see if you can resonate with them. Make a joke. It doesn't have to be a meme or anything like that. You can simply just use a metaphor, make like a witty joke, for example. And then 48 hours after that one, we've got the last follow-up email. So this is like a breakup email, as it's called. So you basically want to tell them that you're ending the sequence. Are you sure there's no reason that they want to respond? You can summarize what you're doing and just make it clear that it's the last email. I've seen people say don't make it clear that it's the last email, because the prospect should be thinking, oh, I really don't want to receive any more emails from this guy. Let me either just say yes or no. You can do that, but I like to actually let them know that it's the last email after 48 hours after the follow-up before that. So yeah, let them know. Ultimately, I like to leave my Calendly link or my booking link in the last email. This is because if they do, for whatever reason, want to book in a call, they can do. It doesn't affect deliverability too much, and I've had quite a few bookings from that. I need to check the data in more detail, but yeah, I think it's a very effective thing to do. Leave a Calendly link in the last follow-up email. I've seen a lot of people do it. It usually works very, very well. So yeah, that's a summary of what an ideal pipeline may look like. We don't do this sort of thing all the time, but it's just a general structure to use in cold email follow-up. So I wanted to run through the things behind each follow-up here. So with the quick check-in, this is the first follow-up. So I just want to give some examples here. So have you got the time to check my email? So it's more of a humorous one. Just checking in. What did you think about our offer? Referencing the first email. You seem silent. Do you have any questions? You could play on this, continuously add in jokes. So this is literally just, like I said, getting them to check the first email. So I just wanted to give you some concrete examples of this. Value addition. So like I said, add case studies, testimonials, offer a free assessment, blog post, literally anything that you can add to your initial offer, anything you can lead with value. Adding value is going to be essential here. So you just want to make sure that they can see more about your offer and what you're offering. Next thing is the discount. So the offer and the discount. So yeah, apologies. I actually said in the second follow-up and the third follow-up, so emails 3 and 4, email 3 should be a value addition. So anything you can add of value to your service. So case studies, testimonials, free assessments, PDFs, blog posts, any sales assets you can add. And then the next email after that is going into more detail about your offer, creating some urgency, some scarcity. Like it says here, this is an example for a SaaS platform, offering a 14-day free trial, offering an early bird offer. So that's what you want to do. Create a sense of urgency, essentially. Next thing, and the last one that I talked about, was the funny and humorous follow-up. So like I said here, is the, are you breaking up with us? We thought we had time. You can add a funny meme to drive attention, and then the one after that is the final email. So yeah, that's a general framework that I use. You guys can model cold email campaigns and follow-ups based on this framework. Works really well. Ultimately, the more follow-ups, the better, but I would never recommend going over 7. That's just because you really don't want to come across as spammy. Make sure you're adding sufficient time in between these follow-ups as well. It's extremely important. Not enough people do. It's going to help you be more professional, and it's ultimately going to help you get more meetings and get more responses. So yeah, that's everything that I've got in the video. If you are an agency owner making above 50K a month, you have happy clients, you have existing case studies, and you have the desire to scale up your agency in the next few months, then you can book and call in with me in the description. Don't worry, I'm not going to pitch you on the first call or anything like that. It's simply a call just to get to know each other, just to see if it's a fit. And yeah, we can have a chat. And if you're below 50K a month and you're an agency owner, you can book in a chat with me in the description below, where you can ask me anything to do with acquisition, and I'll do my best to answer it. Anyway, that's it for the video. I appreciate your time, and thank you. I'll see you soon.